Hi, Uncle Winston. How are you doing?
Just do that
I don't want him anymore.
What was that?
That's scruffy.
Why are you so shivery? Shiver me timbers.
Oh, it's because I'm tired.
Yeah, you take it back. You take it back.
Scary.
That sounds terrible.
Yeah, we'd be a terrible choir.
Pretty good.
We're at the dentist.
Oh. All
All right, host, lead us the way.
Okay. All right. Take 32.
Action.
Okay. Let me think. Hello, and welcome back to another episode of BYOT, where friends talk about what's brewing in our lives. Today, I'm your host. We have... This is when y'all introduce yourself.
I'm Dan.
This is Kyle.
Wait. Welcome back to another episode of BYOT. Was that too corporate?
It's like an audible book.
Okay.
This is our earnings call.
I'm your host, Quinn, and today we have...
Dan.
Kyle.
Winston.
Eddie.
Since this is my first time hosting...
And second time joining.
Oh.
Cut that out. Okay. Since it is my first time hosting, I want to do a little something different and talk about friendships. Because I know the last few episodes, you guys have been talking about like dating and navigating relationships. But I think what makes the foundation for a successful relationship is a strong friendship. So we're going to go back and talk about, you know, what makes a good friend, what do you look for in friendships, and how do you attract friends of value? Okay.
I like that.
Yeah.
That was a great intro.
Thank you.
Wow.
You should host every time.
Yes. You are the new BYLT host.
She already claimed it earlier. I'm your host.
Okay, first off, we have a viewer who is a very big fan of ours. She actually watched our episode on Spotify today. I didn't
She
know.
watched it on Spotify?
Yeah.
Yeah, you can
Oh,
watch
interesting.
Because
Okay.
we have video on
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
So cool.
Yeah. I was like, I've never seen it on Spotify. First question is, what quality do you value most in a friend?
I value consistency. Yeah.
Like the loyalty, kind of?
Loyalty.
There's a lot
Loyalty.
of things that goes into consistency. Like it can be something as simple as like being on time to like specific appointments that you guys make together. Or
Is this throwing shade?
I wasn't talking about anyone in particular.
The invisible sword just going through your eyes.
No. But yeah, no, that's actually a big thing for me. Like if I'm meeting someone like one-on-one, like being on time is like very, very important. That's why I'm always like, I tend to be earlier.
I think that's what Mace said too last time.
Yeah.
Like her time is very, very valuable.
Right. And then yeah, consistency in terms of like just being there for you, like not when they feel like it, but because like they're your friend, you know, like they'll be there in the time of need whenever it happens.
Yeah, I think being reliable is definitely on top of my list too.
Yeah,
If you say something, then you got to follow through with it.
that's true.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think similar on that note, I feel like, you know, just being able to put in the effort. Like, for example, I feel like our friend group really works well because, like, we always, like, invite each other to, like, places. And even if it, like, some of us doesn't make it, like, you know, like, we're still in the loop, right? So I think that's, like, what keeps us together.
I think we have a like good group chat dynamic as well because
Yeah.
everyone's just
Everyone's
chatting about
involved.
whatever's going on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Everybody vibes really well together.
Yeah. I never do like group chats. I guess I'm lazy to like catch up with all the conversations that happened like while I was gone. But like I feel like I always spam you guys with all those polls and
It's just the polls.
we appreciate those.
Yeah, no, I do.
Keeping us organized.
do.
That's
Yeah.
consistency.
I muted the group chat.
I muted it.
Wait, did you mute us when you left for Australia, or did you mute us before that?
No, I muted you guys.
Right from the start.
Yeah, from the very
My
beginning.
message I had muted from the beginning, and then the Instagram chat I muted while I was overseas.
All right, you guys, this is Eddie's last episode.
Yeah, we have an
Just came
announcement to make. This is your last.
But what makes you guys good friends is that I feel like I got up to date and nothing has changed since.
that's true.
And I think that's what I value in like another group of friends as well that are more low effort as well. And I think for a lot of guys, that's the kind of friendship we have as well. Like you don't check in as often, but when you do like talk to them or hit them up, it feels like nothing's really changed. And that's how it felt like this when I was away for a few weeks.
I feel like that's also like one of the best types of friendships where, you know, you don't talk for like an extended period of time, but then when you do catch up, it's like nothing's changed.
Yeah.
And it's just like very low effort, but you feel like you don't have to waste a lot of like your social battery on this person, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel the same way. I feel like a lot of my friends, like, I feel like I'm like, it's like, I guess the way to put that is like low maintenance. It's like you don't have to be like always like, oh, like we gotta hang out all the time to be like very close. And I think for me, it's like as long as they're like something that's important for me is like if they're dependable. But like if like you don't see them in a while and you hit them up and then kind of what you guys were saying, right? Like it's like, oh, you can just pick it up wherever you left off.
Yeah, I think that's the most important thing. Like when you reach out to them after to catch up and they're reciprocating that as well.
Yeah.
That's important. If they're like maybe next week and then it keeps going on.
Yeah.
It's probably not ideal.
Yeah. And I feel like as we get older, like those are like the friendships that kind of last longer too.
Yeah.
It's like if you have like expectations of like, oh, like we have to hang out like every time, all the time, and like be talking about everything all the time.
Yeah.
It's like
It's draining.
it's straining and it's hard. Like when you're older, when you have a lot more things in your schedule, like with my friend groups and stuff, like from high school, it's harder to like match up like schedules to plan things now. Yeah. So as long as you can pick it up where you left off,
You're talking about your high school friends from that live here, or?
just like all over.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So like planning trips and stuff together. Or
Yeah,
like,
stuff
I
like
see,
that.
Yeah.
Talking about like high school friends, like I feel like growing up, I always value the duration of like how long you known them. So I feel like I valued that, like, oh, these are my childhood friends. Like I stick with them no matter what kind of thing. And then I feel like after coming to New York, like, you know, all of us like met here or like most of us met here. And then like that kind of changed my perspective in things. Cause like, I feel like no matter how short we've known each other, as long as you guys vibe, like it works, right? Like friendship doesn't really matter in terms of that duration of how long you guys known each other.
Yeah.
I think one of the things that makes this friend group easier as well is like literal proximity. Because
yeah.
we live in the
Yes.
same
That's
area.
huge. That's huge.
We were just talking about this where it feels like college all over again. You guys are like walking distance.
Yeah. We're like
Yeah.
walking to each other's dorms,
Yeah.
our little apartments.
And we have like two of our friends like living in the far dorm.
Yeah.
Like if we were in the suburbs after work, I'm like, I'm sorry, y'all cannot drag me out.
Yeah.
You don't even have a car.
Yeah. I mean, Dan used to be my driver, but he left. So
Back in Georgia.
So you had to come all the way
Yeah.
to New York.
yeah.
No, literally, she lived like 5 minutes away from me, and then I would have to like tell her 30 minutes before I leave. It's like I'm leaving now, so that she comes out in time. Cause like I would literally wave in her driveway for like 30 minutes.
Wow, so funny. My grandma's always like, that boy's waiting outside for you again.
And I'm just like, she's like passing by, just like staring at me. So
Yeah,
I'm like,
yeah.
I don't know what to do. Like, do I get out the car and like say hello or like?
Did you not introduce him to your grandma? It's like, oh yeah, that's my
Yeah, so were you just waiting in the car for 30 minutes every time?
No, it wasn't 30 minutes.
All right, it was like 25
like
minutes.
10.
You've probably lost like a day of your life just waiting on
I was
Quinn's
just
ride.
home like a week ago, and then my friend came and she texted me. She's like, "Your grandma's here. Can you hurry?" I'm like thinking of how to introduce Jenny.
Hi, I'm
Our-
Jenny.
just do that.
Jenny braved the rain. And she made it. Anyways, we were just talking about friendships and what we look for in friendships and what's important to us. And
Being on time.
yeah.
All this shade.
I'm just kidding.
Just
I
brought her
live the
into roasting.
farthest away from here.
That's
true.
In my
She gets a pass.
defense.
She gets a
Yeah.
pass. And it was storming.
Yeah, it's always storming when
Actually,
we
it's not
record.
raining anymore.
Jenny's a good friend for coming through because we were saying we all live
You're
very
throwing
close.
the most shade.
Okay. Are you guys still friends with your high school friends?
Yes.
And would you consider them?
Yeah.
Would you consider them close friends?
Yeah. Yeah.
That's very
Yeah.
not confident.
No, yeah. Not as close as before, I guess.
I would say yeah. I mean, that's one of the reasons I moved to New York for a lot of my high school
really?
friends. Yeah,
Oh,
that they moved out
wow.
here. They're like middle school, high school friends. So it's like kind of like seeing a couple of years together, more than a decade now. Wait, yes, around a decade.
Wait, Winston, where were you from? Yeah.
San Diego.
I can only think of like one or two grade school friends that I'm still close with. I still like those friendships are like just so unique in terms of like comparing to like our friends now, because I can't tell you like what your handwriting looks like, but I can tell you like what their handwriting looks like, or like their favorite snacks. And I feel like that's so really rare to find like new friends that you make that you know such details about them.
Yeah.
Like sharing a lot of like core memories growing up and
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah.
That's true.
I recently came across this TikTok that talks about this type of friendship, even though you're not super close to them anymore, but that doesn't mean you have to like end the friendship, you know? And it's called, I think they're called OG friends. I think that's what it's called.
That's so OG though.
That's really OG friends. And it's just like, you don't see them all the time, but they're still there, but like, you don't necessarily have to end the friendship just because you're not as close anymore.
Yeah.
Do you guys have any of those friendships?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think those friendships are like the best though, because you don't. They're kind of like low maintenance, and you guys both kind of understand each other.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you don't have to like keep up with them 100% of the time, and nobody's feelings get hurt.
Yeah.
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 I
That's
mean,
what Winston
yeah.
and Jan had shared earlier.
Yeah.
Those types of friendships that it's very low maintenance, but you know, there's still some value to it.
Yeah, and I think mostly that happens because like after high school, like especially during college, like everyone just leaves their home state, right? Like a lot of people left Georgia in my case, and then I just only get to see them during the like breaks and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now that I'm in New York, like there's reason for them to visit, like instead of like coming back to Georgia, I guess.
My best friend is actually from high school.
Oh,
Yeah, actually,
that's cute.
I met her in middle school.
Oh, I thought it was me.
Anyways,
I'm your high school friend.
no, you're not.
Transition her out.
Yo, this episode was supposed to be about friendships.
Okay,
now it's
sorry,
like throwing
sorry.
shade everywhere.
But I think the most like some of the best friendship is like knowing that you can roast them and they don't take it personally, you know, and they don't get their feelings hurt. I
Like
think
gentle
that's
bullying
fun.
is an
gentle
essential-
bullying. That's the
Yeah,
term.
I think that's an essential for good friendship.
Yeah,
Hallmark of good
definitely.
friendship.
Yeah.
See, I'm a good friend, right?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, this sort of goes back to what May was saying a few episodes ago as well, where she really is into the person that gets bullied a lot because instead of them being a good friend. But I think that actually holds true. It's just like bantering between friends.
Bantering.
Yeah.
I think that's just like another way of saying like they're easygoing and like approachable. Like anybody can befriend them, or you know, they're not too overly sensitive.
That's true.
Yeah.
I think we're at the age where we're pretty mature. Like when we were a little younger, maybe I would have been a little sensitive towards like getting bullied. But now it's just like whatever. Like it's
Yeah.
funny. Like back then, like Jenny says like I'm not her best friend. I'm like
Grudge forever.
Dan's gonna be crying after we all leave.
But to be honest, I didn't get close to her until like freshman year of college or like the summer before college.
Like after college.
Yeah, I was like, I didn't know you were friends that
So
long.
she didn't consider you as a friend.
We went to watch Annabelle. We went
That
to
was
watch
one.
Annabelle.
We hung out like one
My
time.
my
and then
phone
we went to
picture of her
college.
is that day. Yeah.
then
It's so
I
funny
didn't-
that you guys have like different recollections of the friendship.
I know what.
Yeah.
Dan's like,
Our stories are not matching up.
yeah. And then you guys were talking about how you were friends in college, but you didn't. Did you go to the same college at all?
No.
We didn't even see each other during college. We went to the same SAT school, like SAT
Oh,
High
you're
one.
right. You're
And then
right.
I knew her.
You guys did SAT prep together?
Yes.
Yo, that's trauma bonding.
Yeah, actually.
But we
be
weren't
honest,
like
I don't remember.
super close. We just knew of each other. So we technically met during the high school era, but like we didn't go to the same school.
Yeah.
Okay.
We never did go to the same school.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I don't think we became like close friends until like we
New York.
both moved to New York.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Dan just made so many friends after moving to New York.
No, I just had no friends before then. That's why.
Yeah, but now you're like the glue.
Now you're
of the
friends
group.
with your OG friends again, right?
Yeah.
I just brought it up because I just did some research on TikTok before I came here, and I was like, what would be cool to talk about? But that just kind of popped up how like OG friendships are kind of unique in terms of like they've known you before you've really matured into like who you are. How do you guys know when it's time to like cut off that friendship then?
Right.
Ooh.
Yeah, I was gonna ask that. Like, when do you cut off friendships, or is like, do you cut off a lot of friendships like from the past, or it's kind of just there, but there's nothing acting on it or like developing the friendship? Or I guess like, do you ever like just like say, okay, this is not my friend anymore?
I feel like it's never like, because that sounds like very hostile. Like, is that the right word?
Yeah.
But aren't we
Like-
talking about like cutting off friendships?
Yeah.
I mean, you can cut off like someone from your friend list, I guess. Like,
from your friends list.
Like, it doesn't have to be like, oh, I hate them, like I don't like
Yeah.
them. Like it doesn't work out. Like we're just not a good friend to
Yeah.
each other.
I also think it depends on your personality. Like, are you the type to be okay with cutting people off? Because I know some people aren't. Like, they would rather continue that friendship, but like low key not liking the other person and just putting up with it, rather than being straightforward about your feelings and kind of just end it for the sake of time.
I think for me, it's like, I guess it's like hard for me to be fake in front of them. I'm pretty good at just like burning bridges, I guess, which is not a good thing.
I wouldn't say it's
I
a
feel-
bad
yeah.
thing either. I think sometimes like
Just
you need
gotta
to do
be,
that.
yeah.
Sometimes it's healthy. Yeah.
Sometimes it's healthy.
Yeah, but I've definitely had like falling outs with friends where I just felt like I didn't feel good after talking to them, like about myself or like hanging out with them. I just felt like it was better to cut it off than to just like be fake around them and like,
Yeah.
act
Yeah.
like, you know, like we're okay.
I definitely do that as well. I cut off friends pretty easily, which is really bad.
It's not a bad
Watch out,
thing.
guys.
Yeah, he meet you first.
He
Meet you
meet you
first.
first. It starts with the mute.
I think I'm not great. I'm not great at keeping up with friends. And then, like, I guess similar to what Jenny said, like, if I catch up with them and then it just doesn't feel like I want to talk to them more or again, or they're not just, like, encouraging about what's going on in my life,
Yeah.
that's, like, a pretty sure sign for me that I don't just cut them off immediately. It's like a phase out
Yeah, yeah.
sort of situation.
I
And
think mostly like it phases out like that. Did you have something you wanted to share?
No, I definitely have cut like a friend off like cold turkey. Sometimes there's like an event that happens where you're just like so taken aback, and it kind of makes you reevaluate the friendship, and then you're like, this wasn't really like a great friendship to begin with, like from the very beginning. So sometimes it takes like that moment, I think, to make that decision. But I feel like generally for me, I would want to just like kind of keep the friendship and like see like where it goes.
You know when it's time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's always not like the situation where like, oh, it's not good for you. It could also be like you move somewhere else and it just, you don't get to see them as much. You don't get to talk to them as much. It just fades out, right? That doesn't mean like you're cutting them off from your friends, but like it's not as close like relationship as it might have been before.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You just grow apart.
Yeah.
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 So
That's the thing. That's the hard thing about proximity too. It's like having a long distance like friendship in a way. It's like kind of hard to maintain.
It is. Yeah.
Yeah, I call them friends by convenience or friends for convenience. It's just convenient, like you're in the same enough like circle, or you're close enough that you just hang out enough,
yeah.
but you don't really get along.
I thought you
And
were
I
gonna
think
say friend orbiting.
Friend orbiting.
Friend orbiting.
that could work too.
You could do that as well. That's like the low maintenance friendships as well.
Yeah.
But I think having friends for convenience is not
That's not bad.
bad.
I feel like it might just be as simple as like a different interest
Mm-hmm.
that you guys have. Like, let's say like I stopped drinking for a couple months, and like, you know, I don't go out as much as like I did before. That doesn't necessarily mean like I'm not like getting rid of the friends that I used to go out to drink and stuff like that. Just we don't, you know, vibe as much as before.
Yeah. Well, for the friends that you guys do vibe with, what do you do to keep up with them or stay in touch?
We do podcasts together.
Yeah.
Not by choice, by the way.
Because I feel like the easiest thing for me is just go out, eat, and then chat. But I feel like I do that with all my friends, and I feel like I need to diversify that as well. So yeah, I guess I'm curious what everyone else does.
Group Pilates,
Group
Pilates.
Pilates.
be in pain together.
I feel like workout classes is just like so fun. Just
It is.
like a fun way to bond with your friends, old or new. Yeah.
You know, Winston and I, like he just
Yeah,
joined
come out.
ClassPass recently, so like we've been going to bar, which I feel like before I would have never gone. Like
Yeah, we were the only guys in the class.
You didn't take a IG story at that one.
we did.
Oh, you did.
Yeah,
It was after everyone left.
no, literally, like if Nina were to just ask me to go, like I feel like I've been like I'm okay, I'm good. Like y'all have fun kind of thing. But it was fun, like Richard showing up too, like Winston coming. We also went to like overthrow, which is like a boxing class. We did like group Pilates.
I think it helps with these workout classes because of the accountability. It's like, oh, like,
Yeah.
oh, you're going. I was like, oh, all right, I guess I'll go too.
No, literally, there's this one time, like, I had like 5 minutes to cancel this class, right? Like, it was another bar class.
Yeah.
And I was like, I told Nina already that I was like, I'm not gonna go tomorrow. I want to sleep in. And
Well, good thing he texted me.
I went on ClassPass and it's like Winston is going to or something like that. I was like, Winston, I'm not going tomorrow. It's like, but I'll be the only guy. Don't make me the only guy.
Yeah.
So,
Hey, you know some guys will go for that just
Yeah,
because they'll be
yeah,
like the
for
only
sure,
few
for
guys in the
sure.
class. So
That's kind of creepy though.
I need
that
Dan,
is
man.
weird. That is
kinda
weird.
creepy.
I need Dan.
I-
Go for that.
I went to this workout class and this guy, it was like Zumba. And this guy, yes. And I think he was like one of the few guys, which I don't care, but he had his phone out, recording himself.
Are you
And then he
serious?
started recording the other girls.
Ooh.
And then that just like turned me off where I'm like,
I mean, that's just straight
That's
up creepy.
scary.
that is
Just
so
not
creepy.
That's a
okay.
lawsuit.
Yeah.
That's a lawsuit
Lawsuit
waiting to
waiting
happen.
to happen.
I told the instructor afterwards, so I don't know
Oh,
if they
that's
did
good.
anything with it, but that just kind of like deterred me from going.
But I think that's a good like group activities.
Yeah.
Very wholesome.
Yeah.
You know, come to think of it, I feel like we got closer after pickleball.
Pickleball?
Pickleball.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
That's a big thing.
is the easiest way to make friends.
I think because we all started out at the same skill level as well. Like no one knew.
Yeah.
what
Speak
they
for
were doing.
yourself.
Actually,
Wait,
pretty
didn't I
good.
beat you as well?
Oh, you did? I don't remember
next
that. That's getting cut off.
Jenny still needs to come out and
Yeah, I
learn.
know.
Oh yeah, Jenny. It
don't
is
know how
so
to
easy
play.
to pick up.
Really?
Like when I met
are we
them,
playing again?
everyone was playing it for the first time,
Actually,
and they
you
were
know-
hooked.
I'm really bad at sports.
It's okay.
Pickleball's not a real sport.
Whoa, whoa.
All people play.
He's gonna get some haters on that one.
This is how we get canceled right here.
It's going to be a short.
All of
It's
tech,
Pickleball's not a
intense.
sport.
all of tech is gonna be after you now.
Damn.
Yeah.
Of all ages,
And
too.
all the old people
Yes.
too.
It's a lifestyle. That's what I meant.
I see.
Okay.
Right.
Well, sports is good.
Yeah.
Food is a good way to also
Bond over.
bond over with your friends.
I think
What's
back
another thing?
in high school, I used to play a lot of video games.
Oh,
Like we would play League of Legends, and that is like just how I bond with the boys.
Do you
as
not play
well.
games
I
anymore?
also feel like a lot of people made like long-lasting friendships from video games.
games.
Yeah.
And you,
Like-
you also know all the curse words from other countries.
Oh
so-
yeah.
Oh.
That's right.
My closest high school friends are probably just because we played League of Legends up until like 3 a.m. and we were like, we can't end on a loss.
No, yeah, that's our mindset too. Literally, we would play
Exactly.
10 games like until like 5 in the morning, and then we we're like, all right, let's just go to sleep. Now.
That's me with board games. Like I could play Catan all night.
Ooh.
Oh, that
do that
reminds me.
too.
We gotta
One.
play Catan.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, we need to do like
She
a
loves
game
Catan.
day.
have
Catan
to get the-
or
get the expansion
Monopoly
pack.
Deal. Ooh.
So we can get 8 players
Okay.
in.
Do you guys have like friends who like became or like started dating because of like video games? Because I have friends who like met people like and they just played Maple Story together.
Yeah.
And they met on Maple Story
and
and
they
then
get married on
I've seen
Maple
love
Story.
stories.
and then they started
from
like long distance
Maple Story.
dating like some random person.
He
I'm just
knows
like,
what I'm
yo.
talking about.
Like the Black Mirror
Oh,
episode.
why are you laughing then? Why are you laughing then?
Like one of my
Oh, I know the episode you're talking about.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Oh,
that,
yeah, I remember.
that was a
VR
really
one?
interesting one.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
that's-
That was
Oh, the Black Mirror. Oh god.
Sorry, I thought that was funny.
one of my friends got engaged to a guy that she met through the UNSW like League of Legends society.
Wow.
I feel like that's
That's
very
cute.
common nowadays.
Yeah.
Because it is a very like big common interest.
Yeah. yeah.
But I think as I get older and I've played less video games.
It's hard to like make time for video games.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. And then there's always like memes about how Catan or Monopoly or other board game, like Uno especially, ruins friendships.
Yeah.
But I feel like it's the opposite of the meme. Like you really trauma bond.
You do.
Trauma bonding's a really good way just to make friends in general.
Let's go to a board game cafe.
Oh, there is one in New York.
There's
There's-
two.
There's a
There's
couple.
two now?
There's
There's
a
one in
couple.
Brooklyn, and then there's one on the Upper East Side.
There's two in Brooklyn. that
There's
I
two
can
in
think
Brooklyn.
of.
Is it
Yeah.
called Uncommon or something?
Sip and play.
What are you
No.
thinking? Sip and Play's the
I
one
don't
in Pop
remember.
Slope.
There's
Only for my
a couple.
birthday.
I feel like I went to one in the Upper West Side.
I'm sure there's a lot.
There's a lot.
There's a lot.
There's
There's
a
a
lot.
lot.
And they have beer.
Oh, that'll be fun.
Yeah.
You guys, let's go.
All right, our group activity number 2.
Dang.
After
We
Flushing
just came
board
up with our own
games.
activities from this podcast.
Yeah.
I have a question. What kind of activities like can you think of that could make friends closer? Just like based off of what we were talking about.
I mean, all the things that we just mentioned, I feel like that brings us closer.
Yeah. Have we like checked off all?
Cyclical conversation.
Have we like
circles now.
have we checked off all the boxes?
What boxes?
That's all
Things
I
that
can
bring
think
us
of.
closer.
Mostly just like food is one.
Oh,
and
I
that
know.
was so fun. One of the first time was just like bringing you cooking and all of us coming over.
Yeah.
Bringing
Yeah.
dishes. That was very
Yeah.
wholesome and
That's good.
very nice of you.
A cabin trip.
Oh.
Winston, please put in the availabilities.
Oh yeah, let me fill that out later.
You too.
Did I? Is that
It says you too.
Oh, that's
yeah.
for the cabin.
It's for
I thought it was
everything,
for, like,
honestly.
This side is so unprepared.
I thought you put it in.
I did, but I didn't know it was for like cabin trip.
Oh.
I
Was it a
thought
while
for,
ago?
Like,
Oh, that changes things then. Because there's
Yeah.
days where I'm just like, I don't want to record. Honestly.
Oh, you thought it was for recording?
Yeah, I thought it was for
I
recording.
will probably
that's
record in the cabin too.
Actually, we should
it's
do
just me and
that.
Winston. Because I saw a tab for all of us.
No,
and then
I-
Winston and I were just like blank.
I
and
literally-
everybody else has their availability.
Let's see who gets it filled out first.
So just for the context, I made a spreadsheet with every one of us, and then like they're the only two that didn't fill out their
Wow.
availabilities.
Just like the attendance.
Yo, he didn't give us a deadline, so.
That's true.
Well, I did tag you guys your
Oh, you
emails.
did?
Yes.
Oops. Okay, I have an interesting question.
Okay.
One of the anonymous viewers sent in. Do you think you attract friends who are similar or opposite to you?
I'm gonna have to say both.
Both?
Yeah, I think it goes
Yeah,
both
both.
ways. I'm just like thinking in terms of this group, and I feel like we have a lot of different interests amongst this group as well.
I feel like in terms of like very close friends, what do you think that you gravitate towards? Those who are like you?
It has to be similar.
Similar,
Right?
yeah.
I'm not gonna be
Similar.
friends with someone I
Similar.
hate.
Not
you-
that
Whoa,
I hate
we're not talking about hate here, man.
You hate people who are opposite of
I
you?
don't think the question is not like someone you hate, but like probably someone who is just like has a different personality in terms of like they're more reserved or, you know,
Oh, okay.
Introvert,
you know, like
extrovert.
He hates
Yeah.
those kinds of people.
dang,
No, I think it's still definitely similar.
similar.
Yeah.
or like
Yeah.
even like different interest in foods, I guess.
Still similar
Yeah.
for me.
Similar.
I think similar because like since I'm a little bit more introverted, I can't be close friends with somebody who wants to go out like all the time.
You're
Sorry,
sitting next to
Winston.
one.
But I've seen friendships like that work like that. You know, like you need someone to balance you out.
When
Kind
you asked me
of,
that,
yeah.
when you asked us that question, I was literally looking at these two, like these two are polar opposites. I was like, yeah, but we still get along, you know, like when we all hang out. So
Do we? I'm scared.
I don't know. Winston wasn't there at Flushing, so we don't know.
Hey, whoa, whoa.
I mean, Charisse is like super outgoing, and like they went out
That's true.
to
Yeah,
go
wait,
get,
that's
like
true.
super expensive tea without us, but yeah,
Okay,
I'm not
no
salty
more
about it.
shade.
I'm more.
This guy's hurt.
Y'all can make her leave.
Dad's hurt.
It's about wholesome friendships. Come on, Dan.
Just kidding, I'm just kidding. I'm glad everyone's like getting along.
Yeah.
I think like the biggest thing I was concerned about, like when we started this podcast, is like the group became so much bigger than I anticipated in the beginning. That like I wasn't sure like if anyone felt like left out, but I feel like that's not the case in this group. So
Yeah. I feel like also everyone is like very courteous of each other.
yeah,
When we send something's off, you know,
yeah.
like we step in or step back. I think we have a good dynamic going on.
Adult friendships.
Adult friendships.
I think we should talk about how to make new friends as well, because that's probably something
Oh yeah, everyone always wants to
Oh,
know.
yeah.
a
like,
lot of people
how to
in
make
New
new
York want
friends.
to.
Yeah, how to make more new friends. So we're all. Can I say our age? In your 20s, let's say post college, it is pretty hard to make new friends, especially if you're not living in a big city,
Yeah.
or even if you are, it can be hard to make new friends.
Right.
I want to hear how you guys approach that.
Yeah, I feel like this guy's good at making
Dan.
new
Why are you-
friends.
I was like, why are you pointing at me?
Yeah.
I feel like the reason we're all friends is because of him.
I mean, you guys still have friends besides this group, though,
No.
right?
Not really. No, actually, we don't.
I
If
think
I'm not here, I'm at home crying.
I know Winston has a lot of friends. Like you, I know you're very good at making new friends too. Like how would you go about doing that?
Yeah, how do you go about approaching new friendships and
Yeah.
actually not even like following up after the initial meeting? I think that's important.
That's the hard part. Yeah.
That's the hard part because I think we can all, socialize and be social in a setting and then like, talk to people, but like actually like following up and making plans with the person afterwards.
I think when I like make new friends, it's like if I want to follow up with them or not, it's like it depends on the vibe, right? Like when you meet them, it's like, okay, what kind of person this person is? Do you want to continue to hang out with them? Or is this more something that's like group setting? I think making new friends comes kind of naturally for me in terms of like I put myself in like a lot of like situations where it's like group setting, like events, go to events that like people invite you to. Just putting yourself in like a comfortable situation, I guess. It allows you to kind of meet more people. If you're going in with the mindset that like, hey, like I'm not here to be like just talking to like all my old friends. I want to make new friends. I want to be uncomfortable here. Then it's like it's a lot easier.
Yeah.
Yeah, I see you as a person. Oh, go ahead.
Oh, like easygoing.
Yeah, I think like if you're going into it like very easygoing, like very open-minded about it too, like then that's a lot easier to make new friends.
I see.
Yeah.
And then you can from that you can kind of choose like, okay, if you want to follow up with them, stuff like that. The one thing that I don't do is I don't cut off any friendships, even if like I feel like for me it's like if I met you and we had a solid conversation for like a solid 5-10 minutes and I remember your name and I remember your face and I'll be able to recall it next time I see you, then I think you're like my friend for life.
What if they betray you?
Ooh. Speaking from experience.
I think
Have you ever been betrayed? I feel like you haven't.
I feel like I don't put myself in like I guess like I don't put myself in a position where like I am getting betrayed by them, or like I guess what are your examples of getting betrayed? Like what do you mean by that?
Like a very simple example would be like you say you like a girl, and you're like you tell your friend, oh, I'm really into her, like we're actually like vibing, and he comes swoops in and is like doesn't tell you anything.
That sounds more like a high school
Hooks up with her.
Ooh.
Dang. See, that's never happened to me.
Even though you had a conversation with him.
Is that common though? Like, does that happen?
I've heard of stories.
I think it depends on the level of friendship. Like, are you close with that person, or was it someone you like met at a party, hung out once or twice?
I feel like I wouldn't like share information like that with someone who I think would do something like that.
I feel like if that were to happen, I feel like you guys weren't as close as you guys.
Yeah.
I think for me, like when I look for friends and stuff, or people that end up being my friends for like long term, it's like I kind of value one thing that I value is like what like their core values are. If they're similar to mine, then it would be something that would be like a longer term. Like that's why I've like kept my friends from like high school and stuff for so long. Like we all put in effort to kind of hang out with each other, even though it's like super low maintenance. Like I even have friends that I made from like a long time ago, like when I was like 15, 16, like internationally, that yes, like I don't see them at all because they're like completely in different countries. But if I ever do go to that country, like it's like so low maintenance friendship where it's like I can hit them up and then I'll still be able to like catch up and then just like wherever we left off. I think that's like how I view most of my friendships and how most of them have gone. It's like, okay, even if I like, let's say I don't see Dan for like, if I leave like this country, you don't see Dan for like 10 years. It's like, I feel like I'd be able to hit him up and then we just continue off. So I would say like most of my friendships, I would say that I tend to keep them like low maintenance, but obviously there are ones that like I hang out with and like a lot more. And I think for me, like the proximity friendship stuff, like that's very big for me too. It's like if they're nearby, like I would be like developing more like memories and stuff with them.
Makes sense.
I actually do want to hear Jenny's perspective and things of how you go about meeting new friends after college.
Oh,
Or even like just reconnecting with your old ones too. Like me.
I'm done talking about Daniel.
You and Dan have history, so let's hear about
You guys
this man.
duke it out.
No more.
It's so
Counseling
funny
now.
to mess around with Jenny.
When I moved to New York, I had like almost no friends here except for Daniel, I guess.
Honestly, she didn't really announce that she moved to New York.
Yeah, I kind of moved here like without telling anybody about it back at home, and like I guess just out of the blue. But I was really worried about making friends in New York because it's such a big city and I feel like it's easy to like become kind of like invisible. And like post-grad, it's so hard to meet new people because if it's not your coworkers, like you don't hang out with anybody unless you like leave the apartment or your home. So for me, I did a lot of activities. Like I went to ballet class. I met a friend in ballet. Yeah. And we're still friends now. And I also use Bumble BFF. That's what I think Daniel wanted me to talk about. Yeah. So,
I wasn't leading anywhere.
Oh. But one of my closest friends in New York I met on Bumble BFF. Like she was the first person I met when I moved here. And we're like very, very close. Like I see her like 3-4 times a week.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I see her very often. And she's like basically long distance because she lives in Upper East Side. And I live like in Brooklyn.
So where do you guys meet? How do you like meet 3 times a week?
Manhattan.
Yeah, like middle, like she came to Brooklyn a lot though, and I went to Upper East Side like once, but but we meet like in the middle. Yeah, we get like grab dinner, go to movies, like things like that.
That's so
Bumble,
cute.
that's a Bumble BFF
Yeah,
success story.
but-
Sponsor us.
Sponsor us.
Oh, maybe Dan can finally replace the Hinge
Oh my
logo
God.
for Bumble BFF.
Yeah, I mean, like going along with that, I feel like my desperation of finding new friends is like Quinn would know the best. I feel like before I met Quinn, like I just got out of the really long-term relationship, and you know, like it was really hard to meet friends in Georgia because you know you drive around, you may have coworkers, but it was also COVID, so I was remote working, and like all my college friends, like I didn't really make friends in college, to be honest, right? Because I was in a relationship.
That's not an excuse.
Well,
but-
that was just that's what I thought it
He's
was.
learning. He's learning.
That's what I thought it was like the right thing to do at the time. And then I think that desperation led to, you know, deciding to finally take that uncomfortable step to move to New York. And even after moving to New York, like even on Hinge, like I made it pretty clear that I just wanted
His
to
goal is
find
to make friends.
first. Yeah.
Yeah.
I just wanted to find friends first before like dating or anything like that. And I made it very clear to May and Cherise and
The
you
other
know,
people
And
in
the,
our
the,
group.
the half of this
It, was,
podcast.
it wasn't the other way around.
You're confessing your love.
We're gonna have to hear the other side of this
They're not here, so I
for
can literally tell you.
because they're not here right now to defend themselves.
Sharice mentioned it in the first episode.
No, Cherise thing. Like I met her after I like started talking to Nina, so
Right.
like I told her that I wanted to pursue
Oh,
Nina.
Cherise did say that.
Yeah,
She
so-
did.
We are aware of this story.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
We
I
are very
was-
clear.
I was pretty clear. It's like if you want to be friends, we can be friends. If you don't, we don't have to. Like Winston, I met him.
Him, her, who?
Did you guys meet on Hinge as well?
We met
Through,
grind doll.
yeah, by
Under the
association.
When did you guys met on a Hinge date?
I met a friend, another Nina. And it was her birthday party, and then I met Winston there.
Right.
Well, did you guys say like, oh, hey, let's hang out after that initial
Yeah,
meeting?
we had a bar hopping day. We went to
Oh.
San Sunny.
Okay.
Yeah,
so
so
you guys
we-
actually follow up. Okay, question. When you say let's hang out after like a first meeting or something, do you guys mean it? Or is that just like courtesy?
Sometimes
depends
it's
on-
courtesy.
yeah.
Sometimes
I
it's
think
like,
if I say it, I mean it.
Because I know some people say like, hey, let's hang out.
I
and
say it
then-
as a courtesy.
Yeah, I
and
can
then
see that
if
for
we
you.
and then if we take action, then that's probably
Yeah.
more of an actual
You know,
sign.
he put us on mute, so you can't really trust this man.
Hey,
You tell him let's hang out. He won't even see it for like a few days.
Yeah, I think it really depends on like how much I vibe with them. Like parts of it, like I might say that in courtesy, like, but like the other half, I really would want to hang out with them and stuff like that. Yeah, but these two, like I knew them in Georgia. Like Quinn, I met her like when I was really desperate for making new friends.
and I smelled it, and then
Not as much as your hair, though.
all right, we'll welcome you into the friend group.
She didn't hear it. She didn't hear it. She's like, this guy's
What?
reeking of like. I said not as much as your hair, though.
What is going on? What do you have against her hair?
I
What's
know.
wrong with her
It
hair?
smells good.
You did not witness her Atlanta United head.
Oh my gosh, you guys.
Was
Okay,
that there?
actually, Jenny was also there. It's because I need to schedule out when we eat Korean barbecue. Like I would not go on a whim to eat Korean barbecue. I need to plan out my hair wash day.
Oh, I
Girls
see.
get it.
The girls get
would
it.
Oh, I see.
The girls
Because
get
you
it.
have to
You know.
watch it after that.
Yes,
Yeah.
you know, like
Yeah,
I would
yeah.
not go to KBBQ on fresh hair.
And like
Oh, no,
There's
no,
way,
no.
no way. You
whenever-
get it.
No, I get it.
Whenever I went to go pick her up and she was wearing the Atlanta United hat, I
You
had
know
like
it's
5
wash day.
people like do not come to me.
You know it's wash day when I have that hat on.
Yeah, but just a joke. I'm just messing with you.
Okay.
But yeah, I was gonna say for extroverts, the easiest way to meet people, I think, in New York is just clubbing. I've met so like
Dude, it's just going out.
yeah,
It doesn't even have to be clubbing.
Clubbing?
because that's an easy way to be put into large group situations,
Mm-hmm.
and then extroverts just like thrive on that, where you can just like chat to anyone,
The club?
the club, any big event.
The club.
And then I guess for introverts like me, the way I met Dan actually was through going to Head in the Clouds with a large group. And I don't really like being in large groups as well because I feel like it's harder to develop the connections.
Sure.
But I don't know, as an introvert, I sort of felt like I had to put myself in those situations
Yeah.
and just like chat to everyone who was there. and then vibed with Dan. Honestly, I don't really remember you. Because I was really drunk, but I remember you said you weren't drinking because you got like your tattoo or something.
Oh yeah. That was my excuse. I just didn't want to drink.
Yeah,
that day.
but you were very like thoughtful with like helping to clean up, helping to shepherd people out as well. And I was like, he seems very responsible. We
I think
could
you're very
probably
good
vibe.
about that. Yeah.
Actually, Eddie messaged me first after heading the cloud to grab lunch,
And then we just started like chatting more, hanging out more.
Oh,
came
that's
out
how
to
you met.
pickleball.
and then we went to Queen's Night Market. Queen's Night
Qu-
Market.
Queen's Night Market.
Quin's
Queen's Night Market.
So yeah, very appreciative of Dan of sort of like just extending the friendship invite as
Same.
well.
No, anyone could have like decided not to come, but you ended up coming. So I think like we appreciate your initiative too.
Which comes back to like both people sort of have to put in
Yeah.
an
That's
effort as
true.
well.
Yeah, like one person can just invite one other person to like everything, but like if they don't show up, like it's not gonna go anywhere.
Yeah.
So-
I feel like in New York, it's very easy to make friends if you actually put in the effort. But like if you're just like moving here and expecting to
It's
make
like-
a bunch of friends and it's
Don't
like,
do anything.
Don't
Yeah.
in the end don't put in like the work for it.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're
It's really not like you
Not gonna
just
get-
walk down the street. You don't meet like a new people like that. Like you don't go out like go to the park. I mean, well, Winston could.
You can.
Winston could,
But
but
you
like,
did too, actually.
I mean, like for normal, I'm normal person, I guess. Like, yeah, it's not like a average thing though. Like you don't go out,
Yeah.
walk the street, and you meet a new friend. Like,
I think for extroverts, that's definitely a thing. Like Winston could
Yeah.
chat to anyone.
but I like
If I wanted to, yeah.
when they talk about like East Coast, West Coast, like they said like New York is easier to make friends because like you're walking everywhere and stuff like that. That's not how you make friends. You don't make friends going around subways. You don't engage in conversation when you're in a
everybody
subway.
minds their business.
Yeah.
You like go to the events, like you go out like to hang out with your friends. I met a lot of my friends through my friends that would visit New York. So I think like if you have to be willing to, put in that effort to make those friends.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
It kind of goes back to like you just gotta put yourself out there, right?
Yeah.
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 Actually, yeah, it ties back because I remember after that Queen's Night Market thing, I only met you the second time at the picnic thing as well.
Oh yeah, I wasn't even there.
I didn't even know anyone there. I was like, I've heard of.
Oh yeah.
I'll show up.
see me once.
Wait, I thought you knew. Yeah, I thought
We'd
you
only
knew.
met
we
once
met
before
at the
then.
Queen's Night Market.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh.
You guys met there
Yeah.
together.
Yeah, that's when I met Eddie.
I was like,
oh,
I have-
this guy's cool.
I have no friends in LIC. I'll put myself in this uncomfortable situation.
Oh,
You made
actually-
onigiri, which helped.
I did.
Wait, honestly, that was a little uncomfortable for me too because like I didn't really like. Did we meet before that?
I think we met once before that.
Okay.
At Jan's birthday party.
Yeah.
No, wait, my birthday party
Mm-hmm.
this year.
Your birthday party.
It was this year, right?
My birthday party was like only a couple weeks ago.
Oh
man.
no,
Yeah,
last
yeah,
year.
yeah.
No.
Last year.
It would have
Housewarming?
been last year.
Your
No,
housewarming?
no.
I
Oh,
don't
housewarming,
know.
January,
Was it
January.
housewarming?
Housewarming.
January, like the
Housewarming.
I don't know what to name this
Yes.
party.
It's like his first.
Oh yeah,
like,
yeah, that's right.
Party
Like
invite.
barely.
Barely. I met
Barely.
you like briefly, but
Yeah.
like I knew of you through the other podcast.
Yeah.
Bodie Bros.
Yeah.
But then yeah.
But I think that was like actually our official like first time
Yeah.
meeting and interacting.
Wait, but you knew Gasper too?
Yes.
Okay, so you knew Gasper.
Yeah. I knew pretty much everyone there.
I didn't really know anyone. Like
Yeah.
really know. Like I think I was in the same boat as Eddie.
Oh, that's why we brought Spikeball because I
Yeah.
was like, oh, okay, let's get everybody up and moving.
Having those few friends that just like bring everyone else together is really like good for me as an introvert. So appreciative
Yeah.
of that.
I think our group is also very easygoing to like meeting new people and then like bringing them into the friend group.
Yeah.
Dude, for some reason I thought Eddie had known you guys for like a long time.
No.
When I first met you.
Honestly, if someone were to
Eddie's-
see us, I feel like it looks like we've known each other for a longer time.
I think
Yeah.
we've only known each other for
A few
a
months.
few months. 3 months.
Wow.
3 months maybe.
3 months, 4.
I've known May for 2 months because the last time I had Bunch on at work, she sent me a message on Instagram, and then it happened again today. And those are our only two like chats to each other.
Yeah, like even before this group though, like I met Jenny like once a month. We had like or like once 2 months.
Every couple months.
Yeah, we had like a bi-monthly check-ins, but like now we see each other more frequently.
It sounds like a work event.
I was like, that sounds like something I do with my clients at work.
And And then Winston too. Like I saw him that like Sam Sunny time. We went to Mission once, but that was pretty much it. Like we like saw each other on our stories, but we don't really get to hang out as much.
Next question is, how do you make a lasting friendship? Now that you know how to approach them,
Effort.
Send
Efforts.
memes.
send
Effort.
memes.
I think that's such a big thing.
Memes?
It's an important thing for
Yeah.
this group as well. Not necessarily memes, but having a good group chat that's like always going on every day.
Yeah.
It's good and it's bad, which is why I mute it. But it's good a lot of the time.
Meme is a love language.
Another thing
So-
that I think is like I appreciate is Daniel like sending like, oh, have a safe flight. Like I feel like keeping up.
Yeah, he
Now
always
this
does
man
that.
literally has a calendar, all our schedule.
He's like,
And he has all
he
our
leaves at this
locations.
time.
Yeah, I do have all y'all's
I
locations.
feel like
Where are you at? You're not here yet. I see you.
Daniel's always like, have a safe flight, and everybody just like piggybacks off. It's like, yeah, have a safe flight.
Yeah.
There's this one time I told him I was gonna be back in New York, like on whatever day, and he
You
saw
was
that.
not
He was like, "Why are you here? Why are you back already?"
But I think keeping track of that and planning events around that as well, because we both came back on the same day, the prior Thursday.
Yeah.
And you were like, all right, let's do Saturday for Flushing. Like,
Yeah.
whichever date that the most people can go to,
Yeah.
like, you'll organize something there. So that's really important as well for
Yeah.
keeping the
Yeah.
friendship going.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I enjoy it. I think, you know, like I think people say New York, it's easy. It might be easy to like meet new friends and stuff like that, but I feel like it's like it could be difficult to have that like one friend group to like constantly go back to, and like we just happen to be that group, or like at least to me, you guys are that group.
It's my group too.
Yeah, and it's like low commitment, right? Like I don't think there has been like a time when everyone was available, except that like when we cooked, but like we still like see each other like throughout. So
Yeah. And always
Into-
just being like very open with everything. So I think like Rich, for example, is always like pickleball, which is a real sport. But people can just like come in and out of that.
Yeah.
And then like podcast recording sessions, like we hang out before or after.
Yeah.
And then Pilates classes. Yeah. There's a lot of things.
Actually,
Yeah.
that sounds fun. Yeah. Maybe I
sounds
should
very
like get my
awesome.
free class pass now.
Yeah.
I'm gonna
Fun.
stir the
Yeah.
pot. What if in this friend group, okay, let's say you got two people who are beefing with each other. How do we go about resolving that in a large friend group?
Pickleball. No.
One-on-one pickleball.
Battle it out.
One-on-one.
Good.
That's good. That's good.
No.
Good question.
Like, I feel like if someone else is like having a disagreement, or this is an add-on question, like, is it right for us to kind of step in and like try to figure that out, or like, is it better for them to like kind of figure it out?
Yeah, that was one of the questions that was sent in, but I just kind of reworded.
It's a good question. I don't think
Yeah,
it's
that's a good
happened
question.
yet.
Yeah.
No.
I'm saying for
It's-
future
it hasn't
reference, so we can
happened.
look back at this video. See how we
Reference the
that
video.
Reference. Exactly.
Episode 8.
I think it depends. Like if they haven't spoken to the group about it, then I think just let it be. But if they've like talked to the group about it, or like a couple people,
Let's say they want to involve the group. How do
Oh.
we go about that?
just sit them in a room until
think-
they work it
I think the important thing is like just being able to understand the both situation. I think two different people might have different perspectives on things, and then just being able to, you know, equalize that kind of like, what is it? My English is not working.
Like
guys.
moderate the situation.
Yeah, just moderate the situation. Just make sure like both parties are understood fully.
And heard.
And like if something did, like someone did do someone wrong, then like just acknowledging that, and like all of us too, like being able to acknowledge our faults, or like if something we did is like hurting someone, then we should be old enough to like acknowledge that kind of stuff, right?
Yeah.
I feel like it's like a little tricky though, because like I feel like if you take somebody's side, like the other party would feel like hurt
Yeah.
and stuff.
How about we have a full court system? We just hear both
How do
parties.
you-
and then we're the juries. We're the juries.
We're the jury.
We have to be full, like. Oh
And we'll we'll have this set up. We'll have them both seated.
We actually
The jury's
Actually, we'll have a
biased.
representative for each. Okay, we'll have the whole court system set up here.
We need one lawyer for each
One
of them.
lawyer.
I think we should record it into a podcast and make the audience pick.
That's how we would solve it,
Unbiased,
right?
They're the jury.
You guys get to
Yeah.
pick who stays in the group.
Yeah. Who stays?
Who do we cut off?
Oh my gosh. That's
Yeah.
funny. Especially when it's like someone within your friend group
Right.
and you're like you don't want to pick sides, but you also, want to maintain the friendships.
I think I'm comfortable enough to talk to like anyone here individually as well, which probably helps just to voice the concerns, and we're all like-minded enough, similar moral compass where I think we agree and disagree on a lot of the same situations where it doesn't really blow up.
I feel like we have a pretty healthy friend group in terms of like the way we handle things, or like just our emotional intelligence, just off of feel. And I feel like because of that, we'd always be able to solve, and we wouldn't be the type of friends to like gossip, like, oh, they said this, or like they said this.
Yeah.
Like we'd all just kind of want to like it to be resolved more so.
Looking this as like a dating perspective, I feel like any conflict is like not one's fault, like never one's fault. I feel like one could have said something and then someone could have gotten hurt, but like maybe that one person didn't intend to hurt them, but like they still did it, and then like that person was hurt, but like maybe they just perceived it wrongly. So like just making sure like everyone's just aligned. I don't think anyone in this group's gonna intentionally hurt someone or like say something that like might hurt someone. I hope you guys are not hurt that by like roasting you guys, but
She's asking this question for a reason.
I'm about to fight Daniel.
Quinn, I felt your tears earlier.
it might be her spit. No,
I'm gonna need a lawyer after this.
pick and choose.
Who's your lawyer? You have to pick a lawyer.
Nah,
Who are
I
you
just
picking?
want someone to have views so I can represent them.
I can bring in Quinn to like represent.
I will represent Jenny.
Quinn's mine.
I will bring Winston.
I got you.
I think I would choose Richard.
I'll choose Richard.
Then they're gonna fight. Like Quinn and Richard's gonna fight.
Yeah,
that's
they're
gonna be
the
a
two
good one to
lawyers.
watch.
Yeah.
Okay, so bridging the topics we talk about, what about dating within the friend group?
It's
Going
tough,
to be messy.
Yeah.
That's tricky.
So Jenny and Winston
I
are
don't
keeping
think there's
an eye
like
on
an
you.
easy.
Jenny and
Huh?
Winston,
We're keeping
polar
an eye on you
opposite.
guys.
Wait, what?
I like people who are similar to me.
But yeah.
No. Jenny said she likes guys who are a little ugly. So Winston, you're out.
Oh, thank you, Kyle.
Yeah. If there is like a domestic or like beef between them and there's a falling out, it just makes the whole friend group awkward. So.
I mean, like the thing is, half the people in this podcast are in a relationship. So,
But half are not.
but Winston's the only guy.
True.
He's filled with Nunos.
Oh
He's a
my
Nuna killer.
gosh.
He's a Nuna king.
MILF hunting.
Nuna killer.
gosh.
I feel like that's not gonna be the case in our friend group. Just being completely.
Oh really? You have a lot of confidence in us.
Is cabin trip gonna change that?
Yikes.
Yeah.
8 people,
Something-
6 beds. Who goes with it?
What if we fight for the rooms?
Pickleball?
Pickleball it out. When in doubt, pickleball it out.
We have a full match like before we go, and then like the last.
I think like if we set that, it's like okay, if we have any conflicts, we
Pickleball.
pickleball it out.
One-on-one?
Run up.
One-on-one pickleball? Or they get to choose their
One-on-one.
partners?
One-on-one.
Oh.
One-on-one.
And all of us are there to
I will
spectate.
grab my
Yes.
popcorn for that.
Honestly, that is our resolution for a conflict. Yeah.
Stop
That's
being
great.
with Jenny.
I want to
Give me the
stir
easiest
the
win.
pot just so I can see this match.
It's like Jenny, you better not get into
It's
any
over
beef.
for me. I lose.
I feel like there's one of two options. Firstly, you can either like deal with it internally, realize it's not that big of an issue, and you sort of have to get over it yourself.
Right.
Or the second option is to like voice it, communicate it, either to like maybe someone you're closer to within the group, and then like airing it out that way, or just confronting them directly, which might not be the most comfortable situation. But I don't think you should just like let it fester
Right. Right.
Are you
develop.
guys comfortable with confronting people
through text.
through text? Spoken like a true introvert.
Muted. Took it
Yeah.
out. Took him off mute.
I think honestly through text, just to like raise the issue and then saying like let's set some time out to talk about it,
Yeah. Okay.
and then like coming prepared with I like to come prepared with like thoughts or notes just so I don't get involved in the
talk.
emotion
Oh
as well.
dang! He was like, all right.
I think
His
It's like a
documents like
presentation.
it's more for myself because I know I get emotional, invested, and heated as well. So if I have like bullet points to go along with, I think it helps me keep more rational as well.
That's true.
Makes sense.
No, I agree with Eddie. Like, I mean, I don't remember the last time I ever had a conflict or beef with anyone, but like I've done that when it last happened a long time ago.
you brought a document?
No, like I would take like notes, like talking
Oh.
points and stuff. And,
Yeah.
like
That's yeah.
I think that's me too. I'm really bad. I get very emotional when like things bottle. Like I guess we're talking about that kind of topic. So it takes me a bit to kind of like calm down and think about it like more logically.
I'm more the same way. I do. I feel like I would need some time to kind of process, and then
Yeah, definitely don't
Something.
make like rash decisions.
Yeah.
Just give
Yeah.
it like a day or two to think about it, settle down, because you realize like things don't really matter that
Right.
much
Yeah.
as they do in the moment.
I feel like you tend to like throw things out like out of emotion, but like
In
you don't
the
really mean
moment.
it. Yeah.
Mhm.
It's
Yeah.
like I have a lot of cases where like I said something, but I'm like, well, what? Doesn't even make sense.
Have you had a situation where you overheard people
Oh yeah.
saying things about you, and what did you do in that
This guy
situation?
has, yeah.
What? Here's my lawyer, my attorney, attorney Kasaki.
Representing the situation.
This guy has. No, it's just like I feel like Georgia. I feel like it's like very small, especially like Korean community.
It's very
And you just-
toxic.
Yeah, especially like I guess Korean specific. To be specific, like Korean church groups. You just see things, you just talk about it. But also like it's when I was a lot younger, like back in college and stuff like that. When you hear things like that from like person that you don't even really know, it does hurt you, right? I think that's like one big thing that like I was emotionally damaged like in Atlanta.
Yeah, yeah.
And then that's also another reason why I wanted to kind of leave and like meet different kind of people.
I think you have to remember though, like it's hard. It's like easier said than done, but like
Yeah.
know that people will always love to like talk.
Yeah.
People love to gossip, but like at the end of the day, like you know yourself best.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I,
And,
I
like,
always like complain about it to Jenny. Like I was like,
Yeah.
Georgia people sucks. Georgia people sucks.
yeah, they do.
Have you guys confronted? Oh, go ahead.
Quinn. You're the Georgia person.
Oh, no, no, no,
I know. I was trying not to react to that.
She was a different timeline. Different timeline. Post.
I was in a different community, so
Yeah, I know.
we're not problematic.
I did have a like. I think I said something that hurt you before. It was like something against you, and I was like, oh shit, I shouldn't have done that. So I sent a text
Yeah,
to Quinn. I was like,
yeah.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to do that, but
Yeah.
it just came out.
Y'all
Spill
want to
the
know?
tea,
Y'all want to
spill
know?
the tea,
I'm
spill
just
the tea.
kidding.
Honestly, I don't even remember what it was,
Oh,
but I remember
it
doing
was.
that. Yeah,
Yeah, but I think I talked to you about it.
yeah.
Yeah, I think that's just like my personality, because I know like if I don't say anything, it's probably gonna build up. So
Yeah.
knowing myself, I would just rather tell the person how I'm feeling,
Yeah.
and then get it over with, like regardless of how they react. But
Yeah.
I have to think about how I'm gonna frame it. But usually, if something bothers me, then I would just like be very straightforward with that person.
That's good.
Yeah, but that's just my personality. But I know some people just don't like the confrontation. So I think for me, my friends, I kind of pick and choose.
Yeah.
I hope that everybody learn a thing about each other. And
What are you laughing about?
You just crack up and it makes me crack up.
thank you all for joining us on this wholesome episode of BYOT. And tune in next time to see what's brewing in our lives.
Yes. What's you wanna?
Like,
Announce the social
comment,
media.
subscribe. We're on Instagram. We're on YouTube, and we have Spotify
And TikTok.
and TikTok.
Yep.
Check us out.
We're on everything, every platform.
Yes.
Except
Apple Music.
Oh, really?
We have to pay.
They make us pay.
Oh. Spotify's where's that?
Yes.
Yeah.
And who's got the?
Oh, where's the
Wait, what
rest
happened
of
to the
it?
rest of it?
It needs to be glued on.
Yeah.
Getting hair in the.
Oh, dude, there's so much hair on this.
Can I have one?
Yay.
Yeah.